are talking about all things inspiration and all things women, so this episode means a lot to me, but
and me.
And to you, because you can really attest to being a woman. But the woman
I'm not a woman, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I have a lot of women that I adore and they inspire me.
Yes, well, the lady...
Including you, especially when you cook the chicken all the way.
I appreciate it.
Got it.
well, anyway, enough about us. The lady to my left, the woman to my left, is absolutely inspirational. She cares so much about the nature of healing and helping others, so much so that there's a documentary called My Invisible Husband, Echoes of Healing, and she... Basically, it's your life story.
And she's here, by the way. I'm so excited to have you here.
Joining us.
Especially after actually getting to watch it last night. To have her here is pretty amazing.
Like we're sitting with the celebrity.
I do too. Me too.
Shelley Lynch, thank you for spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having me.
You know, one of the things that I love about what you've been doing is you took pain and you turned it into something to help others. Tell me a little bit about your why with the documentary.
That's a really good question. I guess because I've been through so much pain when my husband passed away that I, as a mental health counselor, see people in pain, and I wanted to help them know that they don't have to be in it, that you can get out of it. But I had a lot of help. Yes. So when my husband came to me in a dream and said, I want you to have a camera, I was like, that sounds crazy, but it sounds amazing. Mm-hmm. And I waited 2 weeks and went out and bought it. And he knew that that would breathe life back into me. As soon as I started snapping pictures and a bird would like walk the beach with me, I was like, I feel so much better. Yeah. And then I wanted people to know they could feel better too.
Let me ask this, and I've always been fascinated by this question. As a mental health counselor, you're constantly helping other people. When you're the one that's going through that mental pain, it's almost like me being a lawyer, and I help people getting sued all the time, but then when I get sued, it feels different. How do you balance those two things?
It is different. It's a really good question too. You know, nature and being grounded and centered myself. Like if my gas tank is empty, I can't do my job. So I just make sure that I'm always feeling good and centered and taking care of myself. And I do that with nature and my camera.
Absolutely. And I mean, just watching the documentary, first and foremost, you have to watch this film.
Please do. It's amazing.
And we know the guy that was the man behind the camera too, Brent. He absolutely is amazing. And, you know, the two of you just put together this piece where it's like, I felt like I knew you before I met you today. I mean, I felt like I knew your
Me too.
heart.
I feel super comfortable just sitting here talking to you and doing this interview.
Absolutely.
For some reason, I feel super relaxed.
Yeah, and one of the things that I love, I mean, not only did you make this documentary, but you have a whole photography business too, which is incredible. So tell us a little bit about that, because with camera, like, you know, working with the camera, that's just not learned. I mean, I'd love to think that it is, but it's a whole skill set.
No, so I do want to just say Brent Knight was amazing. He was just magical in putting the documentary together. Couldn't have asked for anybody better. So with the photography, when I got the camera, I just started taking pictures and started with sunrise. And I took, I think it was like 270,000 photos.
Whoa.
A year and a half.
Wow.
So for me, when I was going through a lot of traumatic experiences in my life, I turned to writing, but you turned to photography. How has photography helped you in your healing journey?
Yeah, there's something special about beauty for me, and just maybe being outside or feeling the ground and the breeze and the beauty. But then having an animal come up to me and say hello, or a dolphin.
So incredible. Mm-hmm. A wild animal.
Yes. And now when I get in the water, the dolphins will just, the ones that I know, they'll like come right over and be like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, it's so good to see you.
Wow, what an incredible experience.
It's mind-blowing. Most days I'm like, I can't believe that. Did anybody see that? That was amazing.
So I truly loved watching your film last night. It was just so easy to watch, and it went by so quickly. I was hoping that there was more time left. But she's the one that set it up for me. I wouldn't have known how to. I'm not great with technology.
Yes.
How can someone at home right now who wants to check out your film, how can they find it?
Well, we can add the website to this.
Okay.
And they can click on that. And there's a place to purchase. So that was a bit complicated, finding a platform that I could have people buy it and watch it. And the best way to do it is through my website, because you can go back to that and watch it as many times as you want.
That's incredible. Yeah, I definitely recommend that people watch this film. I mean, it gives you a sense of watching someone who's so strong and just watching what you've done through your pain, and, you know, God rest your husband. It's incredible to see how you have carried on and have carried, you know, this beautiful message of helping others and really connecting with animals, because we're not just alone here.
I also, though, I think there are people who are going to relate to it differently, because I relate to it as in, we get in this grind where these little ants marching, and it's like every day you're like, okay, wake up, do it again, and just absolute constant stress. And it sort of gives you an outlet to maybe not live that life anymore. Yeah. That's what I got from it.
I totally agree. It's getting out of the daily grind, like you said, and finding different ways to connect or be present in the moment. There's so much beauty all around, and sometimes we get so focused on, making the buck or getting to work that we miss out on just like driving here. The trees here are gorgeous. I even said on the way here, look at that purple tree. That's so beautiful.
It's about the little.
Did you take a picture of it? Okay.
Yeah, well, on the way back,
Yeah,
for sure. But Shelley, thank you so much for making a difference, and thank you for being the strong, incredible woman
Great
that
job.
you are.
Thank you. But before,
Yes.
Oh.
Brent and I have a gift for you.
What?
Oh,
A housewarming.
This was not necessary.
not necessary whatsoever.
Oh my goodness, how beautiful is that?
Pelican Blue Angel.
Oh my gosh.
Sunrise.
Oh my goodness.
That is-
Thank you so much. Wow.
Right
look
over
at that.
the wave. They
Wow.
look like they're holding hands.
Wow. And hey, you know what? I forgot to ask you. Speaking of pelicans, that is a
love
great
it.
segue. You're not done yet. You have just come up with a children's book.
Yes, it's right now being formatted and getting ready to be printed.
Wow.
It's a true story of a pelican who ate a filleted sheep's head. So sheep's head is a fish that's very bony.
Yeah.
And it got stuck in his gullet. And he sat on the beach for a few days before somebody said, hey, we need to help him.
Wow.
I kind of know how to do that. But it took 5 of us to get the sheep's head out. And then it took him a long time to get better. But the story is that he came every day and I fed him a little bit until he got strong enough. And then he got sick again. And so I took him to St. Augustine and they took care of him. And when they let him go, he flew back home.
Wow.
You've got that effect on people, Shelley. Well, do yourself a favor. You're going to have to check out the Pelican book when it comes out. But in the meanwhile, please watch My Invisible Husband, Echoes of Healing, the director's cut. You won't regret it.